SMT Nation, we back. Nation, another one. Let's make this a video series. We'll just call it another one from Verizon. This is another small cell build, and I want to tell you guys where they put it, how they constructed it, time frame, what it does for their network. Truly astonishing what they are doing with their cellular upgrades across the city of Cleveland. And this particular city is Westlake. You guys know I've been tracking this area. Verizon is now, I think, based on what I've been able to find, like 8 or 9 small cells that they've built or upgraded in the last couple of months. Okay, so I post all these pictures to my X account, formerly known as Twitter, if you guys want to check those things out and kind of get more in tune with the community that way. Follow us there and check out some of the stuff we post and ways to support the SMT. Down in the description, you'll find those links along with my link for my Twitter handle, X handle, excuse me. All right, folks, so here is the location. This is Westlake, Ohio. This is on the corner of Bradley and Hilliard. This particular small cell addresses a coverage need. This coverage need, if I had to rank it in severity, this area was only getting low band. So performance was very, very thin. Typically, when I used to speed test in this region, I would see somewhere between 10 megabits per second downlink and 30, right? Depending on like the specific spot I was in. If I continued to go north a little bit, it would get a little faster. If I went south, or if I went south a little bit, it would get a little faster. If I went north a little bit, it would get slower. And actually, north of here on Bradley, going back this way, it would make things unbearable. So this really was sorely needed for the folks that lived on the north side of this intersection. Anyways, let me show you guys some of the build here. We got a wood pole, wood construction, nothing new about that. You will see the power is connected. You will see the radio gear is mounted. Fiber cables, by the way, this is Verizon One Fiber, their MCI company. Yeah, it is theirs. And then you got the antenna at the top with the CAN antenna doing all the LTE stuff here. This tower site has everything except C-band and millimeter wave. So everything sub 6 except C-band and millimeter wave. So the performance I did test, I'm going to go back and do a video for you guys, film some testing from the intersection, get up close and personal and show you guys some gear. It is an omnidirectional, right? So it's going to give coverage across a like dome or circular shape. It's not directional. So it doesn't shoot down one side of the street, shoot down the other. It does like a kind of like a just like a circular or radius trajectory of reach. So this is going to help those homes that you guys see there in the background. It'll help, every house that's on the street, the traffic that's going by, who may have had issues in the past with coverage. All right. And it's also bringing capacity. In my initial testing, it was like 200 megabits per second in the heart of the afternoon. So it's plenty fast. I got like 50 uplink. I'll drive by this morning as I'm recording this just to see what it's like off peak. And then I'll test it when I leave work and check it when it's more like on peak, I suppose. But it's a really good performer. This is a great location to provide the additional coverage and capacity here. Verizon continues their all-out assault on building the best network in Cleveland and the Cleveland area. All right, Westlake is, 10 miles west of Cleveland. It's a very affluent city, and the folks here probably really needed this upgrade. And they probably needed it a while ago. So the thing about it, guys, and this is what I've tried to be very clear about in my videos when I discuss these upgrades. When Verizon first started building their cellular networks and upgrading and inheriting it from Altel and all those types of things, the emphasis on low band and high powered mid band and skinny channels didn't matter, right? You just had to provide coverage because you didn't need all this bandwidth to provide for just basic calling and texting. When you move to data intensive processes and applications, you need more bandwidth and frequencies on air, aggregating together to create capacity for the different, use cases for customers. So even on a macro cell grid, Eventually, you have to densify. You have to add more sites. And that's what Verizon is doing. They are adding in more sites. They are creating more capacity, and they're filling in areas that would be considered weak because it only reaches low band, right? So when you only have, 10 megahertz of band 13 or 20 megahertz of band 5 in this instance here, it's simply not enough for a company that has 50% market share on the postpaid user base. They just need more capacity. They need more tower sites, and they're doing it. So Verizon finished the big tower upgrades with C-band and CBRS, and now they're moving to small cells across many parts of the city. And Westlake is a prime example of them filling in coverage gaps and creating more capacity. And of course, this is going to address all their needs in this area. And I think there's more coming. And I've already located 8 or 9 that have been upgraded or built new from scratch. And they're all running on Verizon's One Fiber, their fiber investment, right? They are not renting or leasing from Spectrum or AT&T. This is all theirs. Verizon is on these poles. They're on these aerials. You guys will see fiber cables running all over the place, connecting all these poles, and they're going to utilize that asset, right? This is super easy for them to build. Those radios, those antennas are not expensive, right? Relatively speaking, the permitting process in the city of Westlake seems very easy, and I think the team at Verizon, the engineering team, whoever was planning this, spared no expense in commitment to designing a plan that was going to fix their coverage issues here. Verizon is very good in Westlake, right? They're not perfect. They do have coverage issues. All carriers do, in my experience, right? Nobody's perfect, but they're fixing the issues. They're becoming a bulletproof network in the city, and I think when they're all said and done, they'll have about 10 or 15 small cells fixing all the problems in a city, right? That is only like 6 miles long and probably 5 miles, deep. So it's pretty impressive. It really is. And who knows? Maybe they start offering, home internet services to these folks that probably have AT&T fiber or AT&T DSL if the fiber isn't there yet. They probably have Spectrum. Cox might be in some of these parts. I don't know. I don't think Cox, but I think Spectrum for sure. And I think WOW, if you guys have ever heard of Breezeline, I think is the name of the new company. Once they get the C-band up there, you're going to have tons of capacity there. They could compete in that space too. I guess if they wanted to, can't beat fiber though. Anyways, tell me what you guys think of this upgrade. I showed you what's going on there, kind of the location and what's happening. What are you seeing from Verizon in your neck of the woods? What are you seeing from the other carriers? And talk to me. Put it in the comment section. You all the voice of the people. The SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.